Hey, what up everybody, I'm Cynical, and this is Gems of War on PS4. And today we have Bounty, the weekend-long awesome event that gives you the most resources you could ever want. It's the best event to fully complete out. It gives you 2 major orbs and all kinds of other orbs, and vault keys and stuff like that. But before we start, I just want to say it's easier than ever to join up. I put a link in the description now. From now on, there's going to be a link in the description right under my little blurb I do about what the video is about. Right under that, there's going to be a link to join up. So if you couldn't find it previously, you can find it easily now. So there you go. You can hit that link and join up. It's less than $2, and you get a shout out in a future video, special members only messages, like I tell you when the next video is going to come out, what it's going to be about. Sometimes you get special messages only members can see. You get a special badge and emojis if I happen to go live, which I occasionally do. It's not never. I've done it before, and I'm planning on doing it in the future. So you get all of that stuff. So less than $2 really helps the channel. Videos make pennies. If one person joins, it's dollars. So I really appreciate it. But enough of that, let's get to the bounty. Just wanted to let you know that it's easier than ever to join if you'd like to join. So we're getting our bounty troop here, our bounty captain. Blightwing, I think it is. Deal 26 damage to an enemy. If the enemy is diseased, explode 3 green gems. If the enemy is burning, explode 3 red gems. And there's a glitch with this, I found out. I think it's a glitch. With this event troop, Blightwing. I'll explain it in a few. But the traits, did I fully trait them? I hope I did. Burn enemies when doing skull damage, and inflict disease when doing skull damage. So if you put him in first slot and he does some skull damage, he's going to burn and disease, which will then, when you cast on that first slot with your spell, you'll get to explode green or red gems. Well, that's what's supposed to happen. It's not happening all the time. We'll discuss it during the battles because it's easier to show, especially later on when the enemies have a higher durability. Well, I might as well say it now. I don't care. So when you cast the spell, let's say you have Blightwing in your first slot, and you do skull damage to the enemy, and they burn and they disease, right? Well, then after that, you cast your spell on that same enemy that's obviously burning and diseased. So something should explode, right? If they die, it does not explode the board. Nothing explodes. If they don't die, it works properly. If you hit them and then they die from burning, it also works. But for some reason, if you hit them with the spell and they die, it doesn't explode anything on the board, which doesn't make sense to me. Why do they still have to be alive for it to explode on the board? I don't know. It must be that the spell only triggers if they're still alive and still burning and still diseased after you hit them with the spell. But it should check for that before you cast the spell or before they die, because that's just a total waste of a spell. I mean, of an effect. Because now they have to stay alive for it to actually help you. That's stupid. If you cast it on a burning or diseased enemy, that's what it says. It should explode. It should do what it says, but it doesn't. It should say if they stay alive, if they want to make that how it works. But we're just leveling up our bounty captain here. You need to use the bounty captain to get the most points. You can't not use the bounty captain. So it's just like any other event. You need to use the new troop. Whatever comes in the shop, whatever troop that is, you need to use it in the event to get the best results and most points. But I'm just using the same team we used last time, except for I took out the last bounty captain and I put in the new bounty captain. Chris Turtle's awesome, Tigraki Warrior's awesome, Excavator seems to be higher tier, and this is the bounty captain we have to use. So I took out the Mecha Rat, which was from last time, and I put in the Blightwing. And I'm going to use him in first slot because he has high attack, and he does the burning disease thing when he hits with skull damage, and I want to try out his new spell. and show you the glitch and everything. If it's a glitch, I don't know. I mean, if it's not a glitch, then it needs to say if they stay alive, because they are burning or diseased when you hit them with the spell. So I'm doing exactly what it says to do. Excavator destroys a row, and then however many brown you destroy, it spawned a bunch of red. And Tigraki Warrior does true damage based on enemy's armor. Chris Turtle converts to brown, and does like barrier and stuff. So Tigraki and Chris Turtle you pretty much always want in your team. Excavator is a pretty good one. We got a damage dealer, we got Blightwing and Tigraki, so we might as well have Excavator and Chris Turtle. 2 mana generators, kinda, and 2 attackers. It seems about right. And of course you could put like Chris Turtle in your first slot if you want to have that extra armor or whatever, but I didn't have any trouble going all the way to 20 with Blightwing in first. He died a couple times, but that's it, and everybody was fine, you know. Tigraki never got killed. Looking for my banner here. I was looking for something like 2 brown, I think minus green or purple, because those are the 2 troops that are the least useful on our team, and we're covering every color, so we're gonna have to minus something if we want to use a good banner, because all the good banners have minus something, because they got +2 and +1. You don't want to do just +2 brown, because then you're missing out on something. So I forget what I put. +2 brown, plus yellow, minus purple, I think. So that'll help get our Chris Turtle up and everybody else up, and it'll just minus the Excavator, so who cares. He's like the least useful troop on this team, besides the Bounty Captain, which is kinda useless as well. And there's something else I wanted to say in this video, but I can't remember now. That's great. Oh, I've done a video every day, guys, for like 2 weeks now. Isn't that awesome? I think it's 2 weeks now, because I think last Friday is when I started, and it's Friday again. Or it wasn't last Friday, it was the Friday before last. So I've done a video every day for 2 weeks now. I think 15 days? At least 10 days. It's between 10 and 15 days. I've done a video every single day. Now, it might not be a Gems of War video every day, but it almost is always, like 80 to 90% of the time, a Gems of War video. I throw in my Dark Souls every once in a while so I don't go crazy and get burnt out. Yeah, I've done a video every day, guys, for like 2 weeks straight. Every day. I haven't missed a day. Just wanted to point that out. So, easier than ever to join if you want to help me out. Doing it for you, but I'm also doing it for me, you know, I'm not gonna lie. Because revenue is way down, guys. Don't want to make this about that, though. I hate when people are, like, just asking for money the whole time. That's not what I'm trying to do, so sorry about that. I just wanted to let you know about the new link that I finally got around to. Oh, and I also finally got around to another thing that'll help you out. The new Delve playlist. There's 5-part Delve guide. It's kind of old, I gotta say, because the very first video is about farming, and I'm talking about farming the Warrens, but it's still useful. You can still follow every piece of advice in that and still be fine, still get plenty out of it. But like I said, the first video says it's talking about farming the Warrens, which now is like the 5th best Delve to farm because they've added so many more in. I'm going to go ahead and metal this Excavator up because I seem to be using him quite a bit, and I have a bunch of extra low-level metals. So might as well. I'm not going to do the new Bounty troop because I can't see ever using him again, especially if they're going to leave his spell like that. Even if they change it to explode even when they die, it still sucks, so it doesn't matter, but it really doesn't matter. It still sucks. But, it sucks even worse right now because it doesn't explode anything when they die, and they're gonna, you want them to die, so let's cast on a thing that's not gonna die just to get an explosion, a tiny explosion. I don't know. It doesn't work. I don't think it works as intended. I think they're gonna change it and it's not going to matter if they change it or not, because we're never going to use it again after this weekend. So they could leave it like that and no one would care. But I don't even remember what I was just talking about, so let's just go on with this. Checking out my metals, gonna see what I'm gonna use. I just decided to use magic and metal of Anu. So a metal of Nisha, a metal of a badge of Nisha, and a metal of Anu. Oh, and I did the opened some chests this morning, and I did get the mythic. That's like the first time. It's gonna be sad to hear, and you guys are gonna like think I'm stupid. But it's like probably the first time I've intentionally saved up keys just to open them for the new mythic. It's like the first time I've ever done that, because I've never been in that position, like to where I already have so many mythics that it doesn't make sense to not do that. And like I definitely need the new one. My thought process before was always, well, I need so many mythics that I'm just gonna open them as soon as I get them, because the new mythic's not any good anyway. Which this one, I'm not talking about this one, but usually the new one's not any good. So why not open them just as soon as I get them to try to get a better mythic, since I still need like half of them. If I happen to get one, what's the chances I'm gonna get one that I already have? Well, like 50-50, but I'll take that chance to get a new good mythic over a guaranteed chance of getting a crappy new mythic. So I don't know. Supposedly this one's decent, so I saved up my keys since like I think Sunday. So it wasn't even very long that I saved them. Like I didn't know a new mythic was coming in until like Sunday, so I wasn't paying attention until I did that spoiler video. Maybe Saturday, I think I knew. But I only saved up keys for like 5 or 6 days, and I had enough to get it. Like I didn't throw that many either. It was pretty nice. Didn't have that many. I had like 300 glory keys and like 100 gem keys and like 200, chests of guild keys. And I got them in the gem keys, the 70 gem keys. After I'd opened everything else, of course. I tried to get the, I don't know why I tried the, the glory ones first. Stupid voice. I know that's always lovely to hear. I need like a mute button or something. Alrighty, so there we go. Those are the easy battles. Just wanted to show you that this works early. And then we're gonna move on to the later battles now. We're on 17. Make sure you use a bounty troop for every slot. I mean, you can put in like Yao Gui if you don't want to use a bounty troop for every single slot. Like take out Excavator, put in Yao Gui. That's what most people use if they're going to use a non-bounty troop. You'll get less points, but you'll be able to clear 20 faster. If you can't make it to 20, then I'm showing that I'm going to convert that green to brown with the turtle, I think. That's why I did that emphasized movement on the screen. Telling myself to say that, But yeah, if you can't get to 20 with the 4 bounty troops, then you can use Yao Gui. Just replace Excavator with Yao Gui. You'll get less points, but you'll probably still be fine because you're doing it on 20. If you're not, if you can't get to 20, then use the 4 bounty troops on whatever, like say it's 12, 10, 14, whatever you can make it to, without dying, So if you start dying, then move back 1 or 2, and then just repeat that one over and over and over. You can repeat them over and over. So you could stay at like 10 or 12 or 14 or whatever, 16, whatever works for you. Use these 4 bounty troops and just repeat that one over and over and over. You'll still get a lot of points even though you're not doing 20, and you'll still get a lot of the rewards. And you're doing what you can. Just because you can't make it to 20 doesn't mean you can't try to get as many rewards as you can by repeating 12 or something. Like, give it, try. Just because you get frustrated, you don't get frustrated, don't If you start dying on like 16 or 17 or 18, don't get frustrated. Just move back to 15 or 14 or 13 and just repeat it over and over and over. Repeat that, the whatever one you can complete, without pulling your hair out, or without, a chance of dying. You just don't want that chance of dying, so you waste a sigil. So, but with this specific team, I'm trying to, Tigraki's the main ingredient. He's the best bounty troop. You want to try to get him up, and then, cast on the enemy with the most armor, because then you'll do the most true damage to that enemy. And then I'm also trying to use the new bounty captain to focus down whatever the first troop is. So with skulls, hit them with skulls and then cast your spell. So you always want to do skulls first and then cast your spell. Don't just cast your spell without doing skulls first, because you want to make sure that troop is burning and diseased before you cast. So now he's burning and diseased. Watch this. Here's the glitch. Here's the glitch, guys. I'm showing it. I'm like emphasizing it so I remember to talk about it. It says, deal 42 damage to an enemy. If the enemy is diseased, explode 3 green gems. If the enemy is burning, explode 3 red gems, right? Okay, this enemy is burning and diseased. It doesn't say anything about them staying alive or dying. All it says is if they're burning or if they are diseased, it will explode gems. Let's see if gems explode here. He's burning, he's diseased. I'm casting it. Nothing exploded. Huh. Nothing exploded there. Nothing. So they have to be burning and still alive? They have to be burning and diseased and able to survive the cast. That's what they should put in the spell text. The spell description should be, cast on a burning or diseased enemy. Deal 42 damage to an enemy. If the enemy is burning or diseased, explode 3 gems if they stay alive. They should add that at the end. If they stay alive. And they're still burning and diseased. For some reason, if you hit them and they get down to like 2 and then they die of the burning, it still works. I guess it checks for the burning and disease after you hit them. So, what a crappy spell if that's the case. So if any developers listening, which they obviously aren't because they don't even know who I am, hey, your spell is crappy. If I cast it on a burning or diseased enemy, it does not explode. It doesn't do what it says. Unless they stay alive. See, watch this. Boom, exploded that time. Because he stayed alive. I think it's just a glitch, and they're probably going to fix it, but nobody cares because the troop sucks. So, fix it, don't fix it, no one cares. Unless you fix it like right now. Unless you fix it before the weekend's over, while people are still using it. Otherwise, use Tigraki on the enemy with the most armor. Because you want to get the most out of your cast. You don't want to kill that first enemy who's burning to death right now. I just want to show this though. He's burning, he's diseased. He died. Nothing exploded. I cast on a burning and diseased enemy. How come it did not explode the board or the gems? Because the spell is checking for them burning, and the spell is checking for burn and disease after you cast it. I guess that's... Somebody will be like, yeah, well, duh. That's the only time it can check for it. What are you thinking, brother? Well, the spell says if they're burning or diseased, it's going to explode. And it doesn't. So it doesn't do what it says. I don't care what the mechanics or what the coding, or no one cares about coding or mechanics. Well, write your spell better then. Write your spell better. Because it's not doing what it says. So I don't care if somebody defends it and says, well, yeah, the coding, they can only check for... Well, the coding, they can only check for the burning or the after you cast the spell, and No, it should do what it says. I don't care about coding or anything. Watch, here we go. Okay, 40 damage, so now it'll explode. And he'll die, I think, afterwards. So See, I think it still exploded there, but I couldn't even really tell. I saw a tiny explosion. Because I think he died of the burning instead of the spell. But that's so terrible. If that's working as intended, then that's terrible. Because it's already terrible. So now that if we kill him with it, it doesn't even trigger. Like, it's already terrible. Why would you do that? So let's make a terrible spell have crazy conditions on it. It'll explode the gems, but only if they stay alive, so that the game can make sure they were burning or diseased. That's the only time it'll explode. It's when you shoot them, and then they're still burning, and they're still diseased. Doesn't work if you kill them. If you're smart and you use it to kill them, doesn't work. Doesn't work. If you're smart and you cast it and get the most damage out of it, and use it smartly, then it won't work. Yeah, or it will work. But if you kill them, if you use it to kill stuff, then no. I think I just said that the wrong way, but whatever. Whatever. If you use it perfectly and kill something with it to get them off the board, then no, you're not allowed to have the explosion. But if you use it to hit something and they're still alive afterwards and they're still burning and still diseased, then yes, you can have the explosion. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. And this is one of those times where I'm going on a rant, and afterwards I'm going to feel stupid because somebody's going to say something in the comments about how I'm stupid and this is why, and why didn't you notice this, and you're going off on a tangent about something that doesn't matter. I don't know. The spell says one thing and it doesn't do it. I would understand if like the enemy wasn't burning or wasn't diseased, and maybe it checks for one or the other, or maybe if there isn't any green on the board or any red on the board, like I would understand that, but that's not the case. I've made sure that there's green and red on the board every time. Every time I showed it in this video, there was something. Maybe if it's because there's less than 3 on the board, maybe. That's the only thing I could think of, but I remember casting it with 6 and 6, and it still didn't explode. I think it's because it checks after you cast it. So if they cast after it dies, really. Because there's a second between the cast and the death. So if it's checking then, it should be fine. But if it's checking after the damage is applied, then that's wrong. It needs to check before the damage is applied to see if you get the explosions, in my opinion, or else it's just a piece, like, just who cares then? That's terrible. So you have to have this crazy condition. First of all, you have to put them in the first slot. Use them in the first slot even though they have no damage mitigation. You're never going to do that. So they're never going to be doing skull damage. So they're never going to be burning and diseasing an enemy. And then you have to cast it on a burning and diseased enemy that has enough durability to where it will survive. And then you get to explode a measly green or red, 3 green or red. So what the heck? All those conditions just for that? I mean, I'm sure you could use a troop that burns all enemies or diseases all enemies, and then you don't have to use this troop in the first slot. But we don't have that with this, or with Tigraki, Excavator, or Chris Turtle, so that's the only way I can try to do it, is by forcing this guy into the first slot. It's just so conditional that it's crazy. Like, who's gonna specifically make sure they have a disease and a burn to use this troop? And who's gonna use it outside of bounty? Do any bounty troops even burn or disease besides this one? I don't even know, because most of them are useless other than the ones we're using right now. So just a total waste of a spell, especially with it not working like it should. Here we go, burned and diseased. There, it worked fine there, because it had enough durability to survive and be alive for the check, I guess. Use our Tigraki on the enemy with the most armor. We don't want to be casting it on that first troop with no armor. Should probably be explaining the team more instead of ranting. Some people say they like my ranting, though. I don't know, I like to do it, I guess. That time it exploded because it died of the burn instead of the spell. But yeah, this is how I use the team. I didn't have any trouble at all. So we're on 20 now. Let's do it one more time just to show that you need to keep repeating 20. Don't want people to think that you just get to 20 and stop. You gotta keep repeating it. You can go backwards and repeat previous ones if you want, if it's too hard for you. But yeah, that's how you play bounty. Make sure you use 4 bounty troops. Make sure you use the bounty captain. Make sure they're fully ascended if possible, because you get more points. The only way you get maximum points is if everything is ascended fully. It's the only way you get full points. And I hope you can't hear this stupid freaking smoke detector that decided to die at the worst time ever. That's just my luck, guy. That's just my luck. That's just my luck. Let's have the batteries die in your smoke alarm right as you're doing a video. You know that that 30 minutes out of a whole day, that 30 minutes out of a whole day, that 30 minutes, that's when it's gonna die while you're doing the video. You know? Not any of the other 30 minutes, you know? Not the other 48, 30 minutes out of a day. Not the other 47 times that it could have happened. No, let's do it during this 30 minutes. Because it wasn't doing that before I started. More ranting, please. More ranting. Rant on. Excavator explodes a row. Pick the row with the most brown in it so you can get a lot of red, so you can get your Tigraki up. Tigraki's the one that's going to be doing most of the, you know, the carrying of the team. It's going to carry the most load for the team, doing the most damage. This team is slow, I gotta admit, it's slow. I maybe could have found something better, but it works. It works. I mean, that's the main thing. It uses the bounty captain. It works. It uses Tigraki and Chris Turtle, the 2 best bounty troops in the game. Somebody may come up with a better troop instead of Excavator, maybe. That's what I could see that for sure. Like good replacement. So put that in the comments, you guys. If you have a better team than this, go ahead and put it in the comments. It doesn't hurt my feelings. It just helps everybody out, and that's all I care about. Helps people out. If people come to this video, they see this team, and they're like, oh dang, I don't have Chris Turtle, or oh dang, I don't have Tigraki, or oh man, I can't get all those fully ascended, and I can't fully trade them, and I won't be able to use that team. Well, then you can go down in the comments, and usually there's at least, I would say, at least 2 to 3 teams in the comments, because we have awesome people that put their teams in the comments, like Drock Savage and Z, and there's a lot of people that do it. So I don't want to like start naming people and forget somebody, but yeah, a lot of people. Scott, I'm gonna keep saying them now, even though, yeah, a lot of people. I don't want to like miss anybody, so don't feel bad if I didn't say your name. It's just the first 3 that came to mind. A lot of people put their teams in the comments, and I don't care about the smoke detector. I'm gonna keep going because I'm not recording this again, so you can keep beeping all at once. It'll just be an awesome background. Some people said that too. They're like, oh, we don't care about the lawnmower and the kids screaming and the smoke detector going off and the phone going off, and it's, some people are like, they don't give a crap about that, they like hearing it. But then I'll get the sound Nazis that can hear me freaking swallow, and they'll put it in the comments that I need to fix it. So that makes me paranoid about everything else, about the lawnmower, about the smoke detector, about the kid yelling, about the dog barking, about the phone going off, about the jet engine PS4. That just makes me paranoid, because if you can hear me freaking swallow, that you're listening, you got your earphones so deep in your ear canal and so far up that you can hear me swallow or sniff or whatever, you can hear my teeth growing, then you need to turn that down a little bit and get it out of your ear hole a little bit, because I'm sorry, I gotta swallow, I gotta breathe. I can't, like, hold my breath while I'm doing a video. I could have a better microphone, but here is our rewards so far. And I got screwed. Don't need those orange and don't need that green. I wish I could have got a blue or purple. And then I'll go ahead and show you the vault key that we got. Might as well see if we can get something good. Probably. Oh, this would be good for people that are trying to get the key team. If you're trying to get the key team right now, this is how you get the key team. Use your vault keys. Whenever there's a vault event, see how many vault keys you can get, and then you go into the vault and you clear it, and you hope you get a Cedric, because he's one of the rewards for clearing the vault. Using that Phoenicia team I put out from yesterday, so please go check that video out. Go check out my playlist, my Delve 5-part playlist. It's for farming, horde, renown, events, and pure faction. But check it out. I got a Cedric Sparkle Sack. You can get that too for your key team. But yeah, like, share, subscribe, hit that join button or the link in the description. It's now in the link in the description. And hope you got something out of this, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.